Species 8472 have somehow discovered a means of entering the Alpha Quadrant, leaving nothing but destruction in their wake. By assimilating other beings into our collective, we bring them closer to perfection. We wish only to improve quality of life for all species. Species 8472 wish only to destroy. Such a waste of resources is incomprehensible. If Species 8472 is capable of entering the Alpha Quadrant at will, it is more than likely that the same will hold true with the Delta Quadrant. This cannot be allowed. In addition to supplying us with data regarding the location of the tachyon particle nebulas, the captured Federation vessels have provided us with the location of a Klingon science center. The Klingons have somehow managed to capture a wounded 8472 vessel. Having done so, they will service the collective. The Species 8472 vessel is a necessary asset. We must assimilate the planet Job 2. We will build up a suitable attack fleet, destroy the Klingon base, and assimilate the Klingon Science Center. The knowledge that the Klingons have gained will be added to the collective. The collective must grow. Resistance is futile.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to Star Trek Armada 2. This is mission 26. And we are taking on the Klingons today, so time for us to have a bit of a look around. First thing we're going to have to do is find a dilithium refinery or something along those lines, because there's not really much here at this point in time. A lot of the missions of the Borg have a kind of gimmick where you're starved on one or more resources. On this one it's going to be crew. If you can look, we only have 450 drones at the moment, so we could really do with grabbing some planets at the moment. And that's kind of one of the gimmicks that... Mine, come here. There we go.
The day will be ours.
And now you're no use to us. Get destroying yourself, please. Yeah, computer override's awesome. Anyway, it looks like we found a planet and a dilithium moon, so let's head over there.
Proceed.
But let me guess, it's a metal-only planet or something like that. That's usually the... Okay, and this is why we have to assimilate that Klingon planet, because we need the crew. And yep, just as thought, there's no... it's an uncolonizable planet. So, whoops. So, what I'm going to do instead, because my forces are just way too weak to try and take that planet, and I've got an assembler going nuts again here, what I'm going to do is just build a load of Nexi. Probably going to be 3, although 4 certainly isn't out of the question either. My colony ship just does nothing in this mission except get in the way. But it's not like I don't need the... It's not like I need the colony ship, because if the Klingon base is inhabited anyway, I have to bomb it from orbit and then can take it over with a tractor beam anyway, so whatever. I was wondering what those blips were, and it was a... well, you could call it a fight, I suppose, but it's really not, between these two ships. And we've just got to protect our assemblers. The Klingons don't really send anything too powerful at us. And since we are up against a race that can be assimilated, I'm going to be following my patented steal everything strategy. I don't really think it's my patented strategy, it's basically what the Borg do. As usual, we're going to stay away from the sort of low tier Borg technology because it's pretty much useless and the enemy don't really send enough stuff our way to be concerned about it. As you can see, I have run out of crew already, just having built a nexus and a resource processing node. But once the nexus is up, I'm going to build a second resource processing node, and then after a small delay, I'm going to build a second nexus, because I'm realizing what sort of position I'm going to be in here, where I'm going to have a very severe drone shortage. So it's basically a case of replace planets with nexi. And I'm going to start building the resource processing node first, because I'm short on dilithium, so can't build a shipyard yet. Plus the shipyard requires 500 crew, which is a lot. Plus, if we add the fact in that the modification center takes forever to build, then it certainly makes a lot of sense. I am going to build a detector array because the Klingons do use cloak. Not as much as the Romulans do, but at least they do use it. Ooh, major Natevar action coming my way, but it looks like I'm going to be able to hold it off because they don't have the ion cannon. And yeah, we're going to be able to hold this off quite comfortably. And whoa,
Negotiation is irrelevant.
Deal with that, would you? Yeah, diamonds are pretty much awesome.
Station construction complete.
And certainly against Species 8472 or someone similar, diamonds are definitely the way you're going to be going for a lot of it. Of course, tactical cubes are awesome, but they cost twice as much as diamonds do, and the fact that they can't use any sort of special weapons makes it really, really annoying to tack up to tactical cubes. Diamonds certainly... you're going to use tactical cubes, but you're certainly going to want some diamonds in there because of the Ultritium burst and the protection ability, which just means my ship's invulnerable. And of course, because I have cubes here, and we're dealing with the Klingons, I want the technology assimilator here.
Initiating station construction.
Mainly because I want various Klingon abilities, and I was wrong in something that I said earlier. I said that you couldn't assimilate abilities off the special weapon ships. It turns out you can. Unfortunately, you're not going to see the coolest version of assimilating a special ability in this mission, because when I recorded it, the game crashed just as it was finishing, and you missed pretty much the most awesome thing you'll ever see. But you will see quite a lot of awesome stuff anyway. Looks like I've got the tech assimilator online, but none of these guys actually have anything worthwhile. Steal one of these Natevars again, just to make things a little bit more in my favour. It looks like the Queen decided to go off and get herself in trouble there, but we're okay. And get her to limp back to base, and you can blow up before you go back onto the side of the Klingons. And wait for it. Boom. Right, so we've got the tech assimilator. Good, good. I'm going to put them on high special weapons autonomy, just to let them know that they're perfectly free to go ahead and assimilate whatever they feel like. And now I've got a few my colony ships in the way again. And now that I've got a few spare resources, I can start throwing down ships. I'm still struggling a lot on crew, but we will negate that at some point. And with a lot of spare metal on hand, I'm going to build the technology node as well, because I want to be able to crank out drones ASAP. Unfortunately, it does take 200 crew, so we just have to wait a little bit. It really hurts in this mission being crew starved as much as this. One way that you could potentially mitigate it is build assimilators. And assimilators, instead of going to try and assimilate your opponent's ships, just yank the crew off them and then just destroy the day at Hulk. That's certainly a possibility, but you need a lot of crew in the first place just to build them anyway, so overall it doesn't really work 100% in your favour. So we've got the recycler, the upgrade facility, and the torpedo turret to go. I'm actually tempted to build a recycler here just because we've got so much in the way of metal, but taking care of the people crisis that we have at the point, I'm going to build a third nexus here, and that will allow me to go ahead and be pretty much fine on crew for the rest of this mission. And now I'm going to dilithium starve myself instead and research the holding beam. With the technology node built, let's get the ship upgrade facility down, and this will allow us to build tactical cubes and to upgrade our ships, which is going to be quite important. That's the most important bit of the ship upgrade facility. The fact that you can upgrade all your shields and weapons is the most advantageous bit to you. I'm just going to recrew all my Nexi. That's the problem with the Borg. Another problem, you have to recrew everything. Because they don't have a berserk mode like the Klingons, so you have to be very careful. We found another metal planet up here, which is great, but I'm not going to need metal, I need crew. Still short, even with 3 Nexi, and if I'm going to start throwing tactical cubes out there, I've got to be very, very careful. As you can see, I can research the Ultritium burst there, so I could in theory build diamonds, but since I'm up against a species that I can assimilate, I'm pretty sure that I want to be building cubes instead. I mean, any sort of cube's good, but tactical are obviously for the best. And here's the planet that we're supposed to assimilate. There is a fairly sizable Klingon force there, although not exactly monstrous, so I think we can take that without really worrying too much. We're fine on dilithium at the moment, we're not going to run out of either of them at the moment, so we have the ability just to sit here, turtle up a bit. We've got 3 Nexi there, so it's not as if we're going to be struggling for crew once it's rebuilt. And in fact, I'm going to build a 4th Nexus.
We will comply.
I suppose that covers the top exit a little bit. And tactical cubes do take an awful lot of time and crew to build. But there we go, we have the ship upgrade facility built, and yeah, I'm going to build the recycler now because I just have a massive excess of metal, and I'm going to need dilithium as well.
Initiating vessel construction.
Plus any ships that I assimilate that I don't want to keep, I can now at least get 100% of their resources from. Yep, waiting for the crew, unfortunately still here even with all these Nexi. I think the recycler needs 500 crew. It's a really expensive building, same as the trading station. It's a really, really expensive building. But its use to you in the long run is going to be pretty huge, so you're going to want that as much as possible. And we're going to upgrade our what are we going to upgrade here? I think weapons. I just was having a look at the cost of all of them. More weaponry and shields are going to be the ones you want to concentrate on immediately. Although the other ones that you could concentrate on, certainly if you're going cubes, are engines, because boy oh boy are your ships slow. So that's certainly something that you can think about. And I think that's probably good for at the moment. And let's start building some tactical cubes. The Klingons just really are not putting any pressure on us whatsoever, so we can just quite happily sit here and be pretty comfortable about our situation. We've got holding beam, we've got technology assimilator beam, we're building tactical cubes. As you can see, even 4 Nexi isn't enough to completely continuously build tactical cubes. You have a very small delay. And yeah, I'm going to research the engine pod, because the one downside of a tactical cube, even though it's more powerful than a normal cube, my god is it slow. So you really, really need the engine upgrades if you're going top tier Borg units, because they're just slow as hell, and you really need the extra oomph from improved engines. I suppose it makes sense. The Borg are kind of this, like,
We have entered a dangerous
you know,
nebula.
slowly advancing zombie, especially when you fight them in normal, like ground-based fights. They're this slow advancing zombie which will just eventually kill you. And here we go, level 3 weapons going down. Found a Nate Var, and I see. That one's getting a bit frisky. But that Nexus is going to be able to hold off that assault pretty easily, and I'm just going to get Queenie over here to see what she thinks of this whole situation. I can't even be asked with computer override, just kill it. Computer timed its attack pretty well there, just as I was leaving.
Proceed.
Oh! Tactical cube just ends up going past.
By your command.
And I think we've got enough now to take on this planet. The Klingons really don't have very huge defences anywhere on the map. This is a pretty easy map when it comes down to it. And yeah, you'll notice the Fekla class ship there was using the Klingon death chant. And that was kind of what I meant by the most awesome thing ever. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to save the video, but during one of my attacks later in the game, the tactical cubes that I had did actually use the Klingon death chant, which just seemed to me to be completely and utterly insane and really funny. I just can't imagine the Borg drinking blood wine and death chanting, but apparently it happened. You just see this dirty great big Klingon symbol above all your cubes. I assimilated a lot of the ships there, and I'm sending one Nate Var back because these Nate Vars have been upgraded with ion cannons, and that's quite good. Yeah, you can just be disassembled.
Negotiation is irrelevant.
Because ion cannons are cool.
We wish to improve.
Oh look, Fekla class ship, that could be quite useful. But yeah, while we're back here, oh yeah. Let's see. Ah, there he is. Tech assimilator. Yeah, you've got ion cannon, haven't you? I think my whole fleet could do with that. I'm not sure what doing this does, but I'm sure we'll find out at some point. But mainly my fleet now has two new abilities. They have ion cannon, which is awesome, and they also have the red nebula ability from the Fekla. Basically, the Fekla can create a red nebula wherever it feels like, the damaging nebula. And now my cubes can do exactly the same. Unfortunately, the Klingons are better at fighting off the Borg than other races are, but they're not good enough. We can still take over Klingon ships quite simply. And we've grabbed their orbital processing facility, so that's more metal. And while we're at it, let's take this planet on. And that was a dumb thing to do by that bird of prey. Unfortunately, the cubes have got a way to go to catch it because it's a ground-based thing. Did they just ion cannon the planet? That just sounds really, really, like, nasty.
By your command.
Another world has joined us in our quest for perfection.
Yeah, if you thought Borg cubes were powerful before, you've not seen anything until they've got a ion cannon as well. But we've got a planetary shield going up, and we're going to recruit. And as you can see, our crew are going up at a ridiculous rate now because that's a pretty high population Class M planet. So yeah, that's going to settle us for crew for the rest of this mission. As you can see, we're researching ion cannon here. And one thing that I did find, which was incredibly funny regarding tactical cubes, yeah, there's the red nebula ability. It's pretty powerful. Just being able to summon a damaging nebula over the top of your opponents is really cool.
Commence attack.
I don't know why I did that. I could just have disassembled the facility. Like this one, it gives me 750 dilithium and 750 metal. Why would I not disassemble it?
Activate all alcoves.
But one thing I said which is funny is that the ion cannon only uses 27 energy off a tactical cube. So a tactical cube could, in theory, just completely spam ion cannons. And
Assimilate this vessel.
again, amusing.
Under attack.
And yeah, I'm...
By your
there's not really much else of anything else you need to do against certainly an AI opponent than just build cubes. A human opponent should pretty much never let you get to the point where you can build cubes, because if you do, they're just overpowered compared to everything else. Okay, I'm going to move my assembler up here, and we're going to just expand up here to gain the extra resources, because we're pretty much running out down here. And I'm going to build level 3 engines because my ships are slow as hell. But yeah, we're just going to expand up to the top just to gain the extra resources, and I'm going to build extra tactical cubes which will allow me to get into the final assault fairly quickly. We can already see where the Klingon base is, so I'm afraid this is going to be a pretty big splattering. Now I've got the 2 resource nodes up here, I'm just going to build a nexus here just to
technology.
protect the area. And ion cannoning and dilithium freighter, come on. I don't know why the Klingons keep sending them, it's a bit dumb, but anyway, whatever. Here's the Death Fleet marching towards Klingon space, throwing up some red nebulas.
All alcoves.
And this is the final battle of this sector, so pretty short mission overall. The Klingons do have a Jack Eng station there that you can see, and I think there was one earlier in the mission, but my ships have just got too much range.
Vessel construction complete.
And now the idea, don't summon nebulas, I want to assimilate everything.
Assimilate this vessel.
Yeah, that's much better. And yep, ion cannons everywhere, awesome. And as you can see, the Klingons are pretty much evaporating under this pressure, so that is going to be it for this level, it looks like. Just overwhelming power.
We will adapt.
But this is going to be the last mission where we're able to use the Borg assimilation abilities to this level, and probably,
Additional technology.
I would say that's close to the best, to tell you the truth, because as you can see, it's pretty much a phenomenal ability, and it takes a lot of the challenge away. But it is still very cool. I wish I could have shown you the Death Champ, but unfortunately couldn't. So, see you next time, guys.
Additional information acquired. Initiating movement. The collective must grow. We are the Borg.